Hello, good morning. Welcome to Voices of the Festival. I hope you're doing well. Here we are in another live interview, and today we're going to have Minghao Liu. Let me invite him. Marvin. All right. I had to ask him why it's Marvin. All right, so here it is.
Good morning,
Hi.
Maestro.
Good morning. How you
Good
doing?
morning. Doing great. Doing great.
Good.
Outside and running.
Where are you right now?
I'm outside running, and I ran to this sea place. Yeah, like
Oh, wow.
water.
Beautiful.
Huh? Yeah.
Wow.
I'm
Is that?
preparing physically for my final recital in the school.
Oh, really? I'll say when is that?
That's gonna be this afternoon at 5 o'clock.
Oh, soon.
At the concert hall.
Great. And what are you doing there?
I'm going to do a lot of Italian songs, which is the theme of the concert. I decided it's a lot of Neapolitan folk songs and some my own repertoire like Rossini and Donizetti.
Great. Good.
Yeah.
So, and what arias are you doing by Rossini? I assume the arias, right?
Yes. Yes. And I'm going to do Si ritrovare io giuro and from La Cenerentola and Corridente in cello by from Barbara Seville.
Great.
Yeah, those are the only two arias from Rossini I do.
Great. Oh, really? Only two? Great.
Because there are 17 songs, and that's why I'm only do two
That's good.
hard music. Yeah.
Hi, JC. JC is watching, so here we go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and he's watching. He's wishing you toy in your recital.
I love him.
Good. Excellent. So, and this is your, are you doing your master's or what program are you doing?
I'm doing my artist diploma at University of Miami, Frost School of Music.
Great. Very good.
It's 1
So,
year.
yeah, that is one of the major universities in the country. And so you are in Miami right now.
Yes.
Great.
That's why you can see the water.
Which part of Miami that you are by the water?
This is the South Miami, and this is where a lot of people park their boats around here. So it's South Miami, the Coconut Grove. It's called Coconut Grove.
Great.
Yeah,
good.
very
Well,
hot tourist spot. Yeah.
Looks very nice. And tell us, so where are you from originally?
I originally from China.
Where? China is a big place.
I'm from northeast Chinese coast. The city is called Qingdao, and actually our city is famous for its international beer called Qingdao beer.
Okay.
Yeah. A very large German lager. Yeah.
And it's spelled different, right?
Yeah.
What is it?
On the brand is more of easier for foreigners to pronounce. It's called Tsingdao, Tsing instead of Qing.
Oh, Tsingdao. Okay.
Yeah.
Tsingdao. And it's a Dao with a D. Tsingdao.
The same thing with the Tsingtao. Yeah.
Oh, Tsingtao. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. But you say Qingdao.
Yeah, I say Qingdao because in Mandarin it's called Qing Dao. Yeah.
Yeah, Qingdao. Okay, great. And so that's where you're from.
Yeah, that's where
And
I'm from.
when you say northern China, I think of Beijing. How far are you from Beijing?
On the bullet train, it's about 3.5 hours from Qingdao to Beijing. Very close by the way.
Yeah, I guess for Chinese standards that's close, but it's pretty far.
Yeah, on car it would be like from here to Savannah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
7 hours. 7 hours.
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's great. So that's not far in
north.
Great.
Yeah.
It's all the northern part. Great.
Yeah.
Great. And so how do you start music?
Well, I started play violin when I was 7, because my mom loves violin, and I wasn't very behaved kids in the school, because I always play around. And then my teacher found my mom, said, you got to find a way to keep this kid calm. And I said, my mom said, let's try violin. And then I started to play violin since then. And then I played till my age of 17.
Oh,
I
wow.
joined the local orchestra. I played the uh, you know the the second violinist, from the concertmaster.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
turn the pages for the concertmaster.
Yeah, the second chair.
A second chair. Yes, I was sitting on the second chair in the local orchestra.
Great.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So that's how
So
I
you were
started my
the
music.
associate concertmaster. So whenever he was sick, you were the concertmaster?
Yeah, I was the concertmaster. That's right. That's right.
Great. Good.
Yeah.
How much, what repertoire did you play as a violinist? What was the hardest piece in solo violin
Oh,
you do?
I would say Chardash or da 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 da. I because back then we only learned that in Mandarin, especially the title. So, but the melodies of da 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 da. That's my hardest piece. That's the
Okay.
hardest piece I play. And also I
Did you?
started to play the Mendelssohn concerto, Mendelssohn concerto.
Yeah. Yeah. Great.
Yeah, I love that. And then
Great.
after I finished that concerto, I started to play the Beethoven. That was, oh my God, I couldn't finish it. So then somehow my friend called me to do a support singing show with him. He said you will get paid by that. Oh, and then I got interested. It turned out as a rock and roll show, so we have to sing. I said, I have zero singing experience. They said, let me show you something, and ba ba ba, and then I start to, and then I watched the lyrics, the song that I know, then I sing like that, and she said, oh, you got a talent, and then he gave me two lessons. He said, and by the end of the lesson, I learned everything he taught, but I didn't know I learned those things. He said, oh, that's the voice I want to learn for about 2 years, but you get it from just 1 2 lessons. You should keep doing this. And I said, oh yeah, well, why? Yeah, that might be a very good idea, because by the kind of the efficiency, I learn voice faster than learning the violin. Because
Right.
the violin requires I think 6 to 10 hours practice a day, right? And
Right.
then to in order to get a good shape. But voice, sometimes you only need to practice the voice in 1 or 2 hours. But the learning music is still takes about six some hours. And then I joined a competition in the school, in the high school, and but I registered both violin and voice. And then I learned a song, O Sole Mio. I'm watching Pavarotti singing it. I said, "Oh, I probably can do it because I can sing high notes." And then I won the third prize for the singing. I won the second prize for the singing. I won the third prize for the violin. And then it turned out I started to recalculate again. Why don't I move to the classical singing? And then I started to take lessons from a local teacher and also the teacher from my musical high school. And then with few
How old
lessons,
were you? How old were you in
16,
this competition?
16,
16.
16.
Okay.
Yeah, zero classical training, zero classical training, but be able to sing "O Sole Mio," but just by imitating the
Right.
Pavarotti.
Right.
And then when I won the prize, I went back home. So, Mom, I can do this. I can really do this. This can be a good business. Let's do this. And he said, "Oh, you can try, but I don't know." And then I applied the Ukrainian. I applied both Ukrainian conservatory and Australian conservatory, and also Canadian universities. But finally, because the limited funds, we can only afford Ukrainian schools. That's about $3,000.
I think he froze. Let's wait until he comes
Then
back. Hold
yeah,
on, yeah. Hey, Minghao, yeah,
yes,
wait, you get frozen. Okay, so we were talking about going
Ukraine.
to Ukraine.
Yeah, Ukraine. Then I applied with only 2 months of training. I got accepted by the conservatory. And then I started to
Great.
professionally train in voice. But at the same time, it's also a pro dancer.
How do you start? Wait. Now you're a dancer. How did you start? When did you start dancing?
At the same time as I was singing, because by the time um, the boys in the school who got the attention about all the girls' attention, they can sing and they can dance. And then if I want a girlfriend as good as they are, I need to dance. I need to sing and dance.
Okay.
So I started training a dance by then because the girlfriend that I have back then broke up with me because he fell in love with a dancer. Then I studied with his teacher, and I got pretty good at it because I committed to it. Back then in high school, you always thinking if the loss of your relationship means the whole world.
Right.
So that's how I started to dance, and then I got really good at it, and I forgot the girl.
Good. And what kind of dance? Because I assume you were not doing classical
Well,
dance. Sorry,
yeah.
we lost you a bit. Sorry. What kind of dance? I assume not classical ballet.
No, 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 no. I was trained by a local teacher, and I was the first generation hip hop dancer in the city.
All
Yes,
right. Hip hop
first
dance. It's
generation.
it's like a break dance.
Yeah, pop and lock, West
Oh,
Coast dance.
okay. All right.
That's my earliest American culture.
All right. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. That is very American hip hop. It is all American. And
Yes.
so and then you decided to go to and why did you decide to go abroad? I didn't stay in Qingdao or Beijing
Well,
or
well,
Shanghai.
play violin cannot get you a very high income career, and dance is very, you know. And back then, parents also say I learned dance by myself. I collect I borrowed the money from friends, and also I earned my own store little funds that I can go to the lessons, and because my parents won't support me for the dance, because they're saying that by violin dance, the hip hop, the street dance, are you crazy? That's like you are once an artist and a street guy. I said, no, it's an art too. No, they don't. Well, that's um, that's that's a teenager thing. So, but then I got into dance, but I found out that this cannot earn me a living too. So then I went to then I got the offer from Ukraine. I just went there. So I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh.
I muted because I muted because I had some sirens, here in New
uh,
York.
Yeah.
But I wonder why do you decide to go abroad instead of studying in Beijing or
Oh,
Shanghai?
it's way too expensive to study in China for music.
Really?
Yeah.
Even for Chinese? I thought it will be a state school.
No, I mean you want if you want to go to school, you go to the good school, right? The good the or you I always because I always target the best school, even though I never get into the best conservatory. But even then, back then, the best choice would be the Central Conservatory of China, and the China Conservatory. But then it's too expensive. Even taking lessons with a teacher would be too expensive. So by calculation, then studying in Ukraine $3,000 a year. Studying in China would cost me 10,000,
Oh.
more than $10,000 a year. We can't afford that, so we have to go to Ukraine.
I thought the education in China was free.
No, no, it's not. Especially conservatory.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's that because the conservatory is kind of private, but no, the Central Conservatory is state.
yeah. Even though because you have to study with the teachers in order to get in, so I can't. We can't afford that. It's about 2,000 yuan, uh, $300, three or $400 per lesson. We can't afford that, so we have
Okay.
to go out.
Oh,
Might be higher, but now, but I don't know. Yeah, so
I see. Great.
yeah,
Um, good. So, very good. Then you decided to go to Ukraine.
yeah.
How was that? How long were you in Ukraine?
I was there 6 years,
Six
and
in
six
Kiev.
years. No, in Donetsk, which now belongs to Russian Federation.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But back then it was the Ukrainian, and people only speak Russian in that territory. And uh, because I asked the local people, they said they consider people speaking Ukrainian from a farm as a countryman, a peasant. So they don't speak Ukrainian, but I don't care. I speak Ukrainian back then. I talk Ukrainian with my teacher because I don't have that bias.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
So you were there six years in Ukraine. How
yeah,
was did you speak Russian by then?
yeah. I speak Russian, and I didn't learn any Russian when I went there. Uh, so I went there zero Russian and 20% English and and 80% by hand gesture and
Right.
or facial expressions.
So you
So
decided to go to the Ukrainian conservatory without speaking any Ukrainian
yeah,
or Russian, and they take you. How do you do the audition?
yeah.
How do you do audition if you don't speak the language?
I did
How do you?
audition. Uh, we got a translator from higher degrees. You know, from third year students who speak fluent Russian. Well, not very fluent, but fluent enough to give me the translations.
That
So that's how I did
someone
the
that is
audition. Yeah, someone know Chinese back then.
right. Wow, so interesting, and they will
Yeah,
take foreigners that don't speak the language.
yeah, yeah. But they trained you. They put you in a pre language education school, and I learned the most Russian in that year. In 1 year, I learned basic communication skills, and but not musical terms. But I learned musical terms with my professors.
And in that year where you also studied at the conservatory, it was only language.
Oh, I studied both. because in conservatory I still taking lessons and also learning repertoires because I can't stop learning repertoires.
Good.
Yeah.
And excellent. So you were there for 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years.
And then?
Oh, and then in 2014, because of the war, I have to flee the country, and it was first of all exciting, but also terrifying. And secondly, it's terrifying. I just realized, oh my God, I just been through the war, and then I went back home.
The war was already happening when you moved, or it was before it happened?
Before it already happened. When I was doing my final exam and a final recital, there's still missiles and battle jets, tanks, ground troopers moving around the city. They're preparing to defend the city. Well, by then it was defend. Now I don't
Right.
know now. And also, um, we didn't as a students, foreigners, we didn't know what's the situation in the city. We can't see any police forces. But back then, when I saw this happening, I already started to learning English, planning to go to Canada. Yeah, yeah. And then I learned for about a couple months. I trained good enough. And then I took several IELTS tests. Finally, got 6.5, and then I got accepted by the Canadian University.
Great. And
Yeah,
where in Canada?
it's Alberta. Alberta. It's a central Canada. The city
Great.
is called Edmonton. University of
Edmonton.
Alberta. Yeah.
All right, pretty cold.
It's pretty cold. That's right. It's about by Celsius degrees. It's a minus 35 sometimes. Can go to minus 35. The
Wow.
coldest day I remember was by the airport when I landed just landed there. It's after Chinese New Year. I went back. It's about January. The coldest recorded was minus 42 Celsius degrees. Oh my God.
Wow, that is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, that is very crazy.
that is, and that's much colder than Ukraine or northern China.
Yeah, yeah.
Much.
It's like I went from a cold place to the coldest place.
Yeah, yeah. Because the how do you call it? Ukraine is not. It's cold, but it's not that cold because it's
Yeah,
southern. And I don't
yeah.
know how cold is Qingdao.
China is not that cold. It doesn't even have snow. That minor snow because the coastal city.
Right,
Just got freezing, but not because it's by the Pacific.
right.
It's got the same altitude as Los Angeles, San Francisco, Sacramento. Yeah,
Oh, very
yeah, around
low.
California, very low. Yeah,
And that's northern China. Wow, interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
pretty
Beijing is
low.
different. Beijing is very cold. But
Yeah,
then because there's snows,
in the winter because it's a little more inland. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um. So and again, and why Canada? Because you could afford it. It was cheaper.
yeah. Canada cost $8,000 a year, and plus living, it was like a 12,000 Canadian dollar. 12
Right.
or 10, yeah, 10. Because back then my mom used a very small chunk of money, invested a property, and then that property got raised up very fast. And she sold the property, then it can be able to afford to a much more expensive place. So that's why we went to Canada. But we can't afford the US education.
Right.
Yeah. So we went to Canada, and also very fortunate, my teacher back then was a Rossini tenor. His name is John Tessier, and I was fortunate to study with him not only because he's a good teacher and also a Rossini tenor, but he had a contract in the Staatsoper, so he's a very good tenor. So very
Great.
fortunate to start with him. Yeah.
And
Then I
so
started to transform.
he is an active Rossini tenor.
Yeah, yeah,
Great.
yeah. So he showed
Good.
me a lot about what happens in the market, and also what type of voice should I sing instead of singing Rodolfo or Duke or Manon or Deglieux. I should do more lighter repertoires like Mozart, Donizetti to shape or Rossini or Handel in order to shape my foundations, the musical foundation, and also the vocal abilities.
Right.
So that's how
Well,
I
I mean,
start.
if you can sing Rossini tenor, not I mean, not every tenor can sing Rossini. So you have the voice and your voice
Colors.
moves and the colors
Uh-huh.
and the high for
Yeah.
it. So
Yes.
it's not that I mean, yes, I guess you choose either to do Puccini or Rossini, but you had to be able to do one or the other.
Oh yeah, yeah. So because I did La Boheme, I did La Boheme at Ukraine before the war, during the war actually, during the war. Excuse me, I need to show you something.
Sure.
That's a fish.
Wow, such a clear water.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
All right. So I did La Boheme
Yeah.
with at the theater because by then I thought I will have a career over here. Oh, not only singing but dancing too. I had a dance studio with a couple of Ukrainian fellows, and
Uh-huh.
we started the business, and we had a good income. We had a better income than even than the professors in the conservatory. So we start, and also by then I had a Ukrainian girlfriend, and we planned to get married, but then the war started, and then I have to flee, and then blah blah blah. Then we just broke up, and nothing happened. And then, but back then I did that show, and I was rehearsing, preparing for the Duke in Rigoletto. But during the rehearsals, they were shooting outside, and we have to flee. And the next few days, I packed up all my stuff, and I gave my exam and also my final recital, and then I just left the country.
Did you go directly to Canada or you went back to China?
I went back to China for a while, for about 6 months, because I didn't know if the Canadian university gonna grant me that or accept me. So I did my backup plan by applying for Shanghai Opera Theater. But they only accept me as a choir singer. There were 40 singers, 40 singers who applied that,
Uh-huh.
and 40 male voice, 20 tenors, 20 bass and baritones. And I was the only one who selected from the tenor. And then only two tenors who were accepted by the theater. But turns out I want to do solo singing, because after I've been standing on the stage by singing Rudolfo as the main character, as a leading character, I kind of addicted with it. I can't no. So I said, when they called, I said, because at the same day I received, no, 2 days before they called me, so announcing the result of acceptance. I got the offer from the university, from the Canada, and I told them, hey, can you give me 4 years? That's about 6 years ago. That's 6 years ago. Yeah. And I said, can you give me 4 years? I will come back and reply for the solo singers.
Good.
But yeah, now I can really become the solo singer.
Did you go back to Shanghai to
No,
okay.
no, because by then because I didn't know the outside world at all. I only know Ukraine because Ukraine is also a very closed up system, and my teacher wasn't that influential to good enough to know the information about the entire world. So before I go to Canada, I didn't know anything about the North American market as well as European market. Because and after that, I said, let me go to Canada for a couple years and bring you back a solo singer. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's what I did.
Great. And but so you went to Canada. How long were you in Edmonton?
I studied for 2 years because of the master's degree. That was my second master's degree, and I worked there for a year in a coffee shop as a barista, and the owner wants to keep me here, keep me there because I can sing, I can do the event. He promoted me first of all as a events manager, and after that he promoted me into a general manager of that bistro. Yeah, because bistro, right? You got a
Yeah.
beer, alcohol, light food,
Yeah.
and coffee. So I
Great.
know because I master all the everything, all the products over there, and I a very good salesman. So that's
Wow.
why he promoted me in the general manager. I broke their sales records from the highest of 1600 to 2500 dollars per
Great.
day. Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot
Yeah.
more. And I know
Yeah.
that the TV. You told me that the TV has chosen you as like the singing barista, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They
How
did an interview of me.
how did that come up?
Well, at the first night, fortunately, the first night, the whole thing about the event manager is because the country singer group somehow uh, 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 didn't come for the show. They were the artists of that night, but they didn't come. And the event the owner called me, said, "What? Do you know any musicians?" I said, "I'm a musician. I'm a singer. If they can sing, I can sing. Just give me a shot. Let me sing a couple of repertoires to entertain or surprising them." So I walked up on that little stage, which they cleaned up for the singers, and I said, "Unfortunately, the country singers who are supposed to sing tonight cannot come because there are technical issues and they can't gather all the singers to come. Instead, there will be something else to present you tonight while you're staying." And then I asked my colleague to play the karaoke from YouTube, and then I just started saying. Fortunately, there was a station, the chief of the global news station in Edmonton was there, and he heard that. He didn't talk with me. He just said, "Good job, wonderful. What a wonderful surprise you give us." And he went back to the station, called up his reporter, came to do the interview for me, just like that. By then, the people are coming really more, double the customers who came to the restaurant. Just want to see where's Marvin. Back then, my English name is Marvin.
Marvin.
Marvin. This is my barista and a singer, Edmonton's name.
And what's Marvin Liu?
Yeah, Marvin Liu.
Okay. Good.
So they did an
Yeah.
interview with me.
Great. What did you sing in that concert?
It's Die Spiritus ist Bezauberung from Zauberflöte,
Nice.
and La Donna Immobile, all-time favorite, or Sole Mio, and what else?
Good. A lot of
Yeah,
fun stuff.
yeah,
Great.
fun stuff. All those fun stuff.
Good, good. And so, and then how do you, what happened? Why did you move out of Edmonton?
Well, I had my dream. I can't stay in a coffee shop for my not for my whole life, but for this period of time, my golden age. I need to go explore something. I know that the American market is a much larger, better than in the Canadian market, because Canada can only let the citizens or the one who had a permanent residence who can that can
Right,
apply for the residence artist or studio artist.
right,
So I can't get that on time. I have to wait another 2 years. But if I wait 2 more years, I'll be 30, and by 30 I can't apply either. So then I took the bold move to. I told my teacher. I asked my teacher, "Who do you know in New York that I can study with?" Then the first name he already came up with is Marina Malas. Yeah, and then I emailed her. I think twice a week for about 1.5 months. Then she emailed me back. She emailed me back, said, "Yeah, I would love to have a lesson with you." So I went to
right,
New York for the first time. I went to New York, gathered all of my income, went to New York. I had 4 lessons with her. It was revolutionary. It was really revolutionary. But back then, I already graduated from University of Alberta in Canada. So I started with her. She transformed my voice from lyrics tenor to leggero. She said, "You have a old Italian record voice." It's a pretty good comment. Then I decided,
yeah,
oh, and she said, in certain time in your life, you will make a good career out of this voice.
right.
And she also asked me what can she help me with my career. Back then I didn't know anything. And then I just started to saying that based on what you heard, what can you suggest me to do? So I started with the Youngsters program, or probably from ADOS in Juilliard. So, but I failed the Juilliard and also the Youngsters program, and but I got my first acceptance upon by singing Tamino at Miami at Michael Rossi's program, Miami Music Festival. That's where I started, and then after that I met with the board member with uh, at his private event. They then somehow, after a few conversations, she decided to give me some support, not only financially but also introducing me some other people. And
Hmm.
then after the pandemic, before the pandemic, I went back again. I went back to Miami again. So I did that cruise
Where
show.
were you in the pandemic?
I was in China because I
Also,
went back to.
you went back after Canada. You went back to China for the pandemic.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Mm.
Yeah, yeah. And but in 2019, I went back from U.S. to China, and then when came back did the Miami Music Festival in 2019, and then I went back I went back to China, participate in another competition, and there's a Chinese teacher wanted to train me, or no, want to help me for my career. So he said, "Why don't you come with me to Italy?" So I came after in the 2019 at July 2019, no August 2019. I went to Italy with him, and I went there for 1.5 month, right? One and a half month, yeah. And I did a concert at Festival. I sang all of my Rossini repertoires. I think I sang Mes Amis. I sang Si ritrovare, io giuro, e Corridente, L'anguilla per una bella, and La danza, and O Sole Mio, and another Italian repertoires. And then I sang these arias straight through. This is the first time I did that 5 hours straight through with no rest. It was
Right.
hot, but it was hot because of the weather. But I didn't feel tired about it. And then I feel like, oh, I can. I really trust my technique right now. And then I think back then there were few important people sitting in the audience. One of them is Ernesto Parazio, who is the director of a Rossini Opera Festival.
Right.
And he came up and said we need to get you back. And then after that, I participated their competition, and I won the first prize. And they want me to come back to them. But then pandemic, 2021, yeah.
And so you were until when were you in China, or were you stuck in Italy?
Oh yeah. I went to Italy at 2019.
Right.
I think the pandemic started from 2020.
March of 2020. Yes.
No, it's much earlier than that. It's at
Oh, in China, yes.
January, even early January.
Right.
But I did a
Right.
cruise show at January 12th to January 19th. When I came back from when I came back from New York to Beijing to Qingdao, because my luggage came out very fast. I took my luggage to get out of the airport, but 5 minutes later, because my dad was smoking outside the airport, we were waiting for 5 minutes because he was smoking, and then the rest of the passengers got caught up to the quarantine. I'm
Oh,
the lucky one, you know.
great.
Yeah. So I got back home safely, and that's the New Year's Eve, Chinese New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Okay. That's when that's when China started shut down. Yeah, remember China was
Yeah.
the first. I mean, you were in the first places, China and Italy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you spend the pandemic in China at home,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then after that, because then you have the opportunity to do something in Florida, or go to Italy. So how did you decide what to do after the pandemic?
Italy was 2020. 2020. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And after I got the competition, then because I can't go back, so the contract got erased too, and
Ah,
the scholarship for the Rossini Academy is also been revoked because I can't be there because I can't do any visa. No
right.
embassies is working back then, and
Right.
then I asked the sponsor who came from Miami. Uh, then she got me connected with the University of Miami, and then after few of documental or that supply all those auditions, submitting videos and my degrees and my diplomas, scores, then University of Miami got me here, so I would be able to come out from China. But I
Great.
spent, but the tickets was really expensive. $6,000 one way trip. And I said,
Right.
we gotta go out. We gotta go out. If
When did you move finally from China to Miami?
it's last August 2021.
Oh,
2021. Yeah.
okay, 2021. Okay, good. So and that was fast. So the first you did the and did you start working with Manny Perez then?
Uh, no, I was studying with the professor in the school.
Yeah.
But I know Manny for a long time, for a long time, and he introduced me to the Savannah Festival in Tampa, the voice
Yes.
experience in Tampa.
Right.
I said yes, of course,
I, I
And then
remember your audition. You sent us the tape, and this was around probably March of this year.
yes, yes, yes,
So pretty soon. And but I remember, we were by then we didn't have any tenors. It's a small, as you know, it was a small program, only 10 people,
yeah.
and we were hoping to have tenors, and then you sent an application, and I wrote to them when I reviewed. I said we wanted a tenor, and we got a great one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
It
much.
was really great already. So
Thank you.
then you did a great job in in Savannah.
Yeah.
So sorry, in
Iowa.
in Miami, in Tampa.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
then we asked you to come to Iowa.
yeah, yeah. That's right.
So and then we already give you a role there, and you were doing Charlie.
Charlotte. Yeah,
Yeah,
Charlie. My first musical, by the way. It was
yeah,
so
and in English.
exciting. Yeah,
Great. And it was great. And then after that, well, tell us.
in
So,
Savannah.
how was your experience with voice experience?
It was super intense, and because the schedule was very tight, and very, very resourceful. It's training a young singer to become professional. Young singer, from transforming young singer to it's a turning point for young singer to young professional, because the mentality is different, and also what do you need for your strategic plan. It's very, very different. You cannot expecting yourself just having a good voice. So that's what I learned from this, the most valuable lesson from this, from all the voice experiences, and also by meeting those young professionals. I feel that the different chemicals from them than us, than the study grants. So it was really resourceful, inspiring, and I got to meet with the legendary singers like Sherry Mills, and also uh, Frederica von Stade, and also Maria Zubas, and also you, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. And then you did 3 programs with us, right?
3 programs. But by the same time, after I finished the Tampa, I got COVID, and it took
Oh,
me about month and so to recover. Then I
yes.
did then I did the Miami Music Festival to sing the Tamino again. So I did that. I did 4 programs in the summer. That's pretty much. It's good.
Great. So fantastic. You came to Savannah, and you also did a lot of concerts there,
Yeah.
and now you are and I know you were doing a barber together. I recommended you for a barber with Gulf Shore Opera,
Yeah. Pretty
and
excited
you
for it.
great, and you will be doing Ottavio in Savannah next
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
So are those roles new?
Uh, they're not brand new, because I know the character for a long time, because by singing the artist of it. But I know that those are the two most difficult recitative operas because they are all secular. A lot of most of the recitatives are the secular recitativo.
Yeah.
That's why it's pretty intense. You have to master language is pretty very well, and also, but good things they are all in Italian, so there won't be a great challenge. So
Great.
yeah,
Good. Good. So we'll do that soon. I mean, the barber is in February, so
yeah,
and I assume you're already working on the recits,
yeah,
not
yeah,
recitative. Great.
yeah,
Good. Excellent. Well, Minghao, thank you so much for spending the morning of your recital with us.
yeah. Of course,
It's
of
very
course.
great, and
Yeah.
it was nice talking to you. And any comments for the Savannah people?
Comments for the Savannah?
Oh,
I
yeah. Tell
miss
us
them.
what you. I mean, you've been around the world. Tell us about Savannah, the city of Savannah.
Oh my God, Savannah has so many good food. The ice cream. Oh my God, the ice cream is so large and so tasty. And
And I heard
the
you like the fall.
yeah, the fall. Yeah, it's like a forever. And Maine is a fall ever because I
Yeah.
love fall, and it probably the best fall I ever eat in the States. Because I tried it in Vietnam, it's this is even better than in Vietnam. The soup, the broth, it's so soothing. It's very good for the throat. Very good for the throat. So I would really recommend people to come to Savannah, not only enjoy the concert, but by the same time you enjoy the concert, also enjoy the food, and the real Southern City.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, thank you, and I will see you soon.
See you soon.
I mean, in fact,
See you soon.
we're doing an event now in November, next
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
We're doing the concert at the Tel Fair. By the way, everyone, this is a show at the Tel Fair. It's by invitation only, but we will there, and looking forward to see a lot of people. And then we're doing two dinner concerts, one on Friday at the headquarters and at Savannah headquarters, and then on Saturday at the Oglethorpe, and and then I
Yeah.
will see you back in New York
Yeah.
for some events, and then for our Christmas events in December.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll
Can't
do a
wait for
lot.
it. Woohoo!
Yes, excellent. All right,
Yeah.
good. Thank you, and have a
Thank you,
great recital
Maestro.
of Toy 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 for tonight. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. All right.
Thank you.
And everyone, thank you for joining. And I will see you in 2 weeks
2 weeks.
when we talk another of the voices of the festival. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye.